The IMF was designed to put a rope around your neck. The IMF has already succeeded magnificently so in putting a rope around the necks of every Muslim country. And so your Prime Minister has to be rushing here and there to try to find money to save and avert a default on external loans. They did not lend you money just to make money and become rich. When will you understand? When will you read Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins? They lent you money in order to put a rope around your neck. That's why they gave you loans. And they don't want you to get rid of that rope around your neck. So they will do everything to ensure that you cannot escape. When will you understand? I remember 20 years ago I said what you have to do to get this rope from around your neck to be removed so that you don't remain a slave of the modern West. That you don't have the freedom to respond, because if you do this, they'll attack your money and the money will go down in value and the whole economy will be crumbling. Runaway inflation, that's what they did in Venezuela when Hugo Chavez stood up to resist them. That's what they did in Zimbabwe when Robert Mugabe stood up to resist them. That's the weapon they have. It's the most dangerous weapon of all that they have, to deny you your freedom. A slave country cannot wage war. A slave country cannot liberate Jerusalem. No matter if you have nuclear weapons in Pakistan, you can't wage any war over a long period of time, maybe a day or two. You cannot wage war, you cannot liberate a land when you have this sword hanging over your head, that if you make one step of defiance, your money will crumble. Your economy will go berserk. You can't wage war like that. So if you want to respond to them and you want to be faithful to the Quran, the long-term process is to recover your freedom. Let me repeat that. If you want to liberate Jerusalem, you have to first recover your freedom. Russia has done it. They tried to make Russia their slave. Yes, they did. But Russia has not become their slave. Russia is a free country. That's why Russia could stand up and resist them. China is a free country. China could stand up and resist them. China is not a slave. But Pakistan is a slave. It's a slave country. So then what do we do if we want to respond to the oppression in Jerusalem, the oppression in the Holy Land? It's not just to pick up a sword and jump up. If you want to liberate Jerusalem, you have to do it in a sensible and intelligent way. And the first step along that road is to recover your freedom. How can we recover our freedom when the Pakistan rupee is so vulnerable? Answer: dinar and dirham are in the Quran. The State Bank of Pakistan doesn't know that, no, the National Bank. The government of Pakistan doesn't know that, or probably doesn't care about that. I don't know about the armed forces. But you, the people, must know that the word dinar is in the Quran, the word dirham is in the Quran, and it is in the Sunnah. Money in Islam is dinar and dirham. You want to challenge me? Come, I'm ready for your challenge. Come with your PhD from MIT, I'm ready for you. Because money in the Quran and money in the Sunnah is dinar and dirham, and it is money with intrinsic value. You differ with me, you want to challenge me? Come, I'm ready for you. I've studied my subject. Allah made it halal, the IMF made it haram. You don't know that it's haram, that it's shirk, but we know it's shirk because we are faithful to the Quran. And so what do? The IMF prevents us from using dinar and dirham as money. You have to defy the IMF. You have to wage a mighty jihad in this country, not with swords. You have to wage a mighty jihad in the world of knowledge and the world of truth to get the State Bank of Pakistan, to get the government of Pakistan to recognize dinar and dirham as legal tender. We're not saying to get rid of your bogus rupee. We're not saying that. The bogus rupee can remain. But you cannot deny what Allah has given in the Quran. But if you want to get dinar and dirham as legal tender in the Quran, you have to leave the IMF because the IMF prohibits it. Are you going to remain faithful to the IMF for the next 70 years? Or are you going to remain faithful to Allah and the truth which is in the Quran? Make your choice. And if your choice is to remain faithful to the IMF, you will remain a slave, because that's what the IMF was created for. When you have dinar and dirham as legal tender in this country, you have taken the first step on the road to freedom. The freedom that you need to respond to Israeli oppression against our people.
Ilahilastulil Firdaus ala wala aqwa ala naril jahim. Allah fahab li taubata wa ufir dhunubi fa innaka ghafiru dhambil azim. Ilahilastulil Firdaus ala wala aqwa